Hello, everybody, and welcome to the side panel. I'm your host, AJ, and this week, or this episode at least, I will be reviewing 4 movies. That's right, I have no life and saw 4 movies. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Small Engine Repair, The Card Counter, and Batman the Long Halloween Part 2. So, let's get things started, shall we? Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Well, what can I say? It's another Marvel movie about a superhero that is out there doing superhero-y stuff. It was, basically, I mean, it follows the same premise as Snake Eyes, where this Chinese kid is named Shang, is just trying to live his life, do his thing. His best friend's Aquafina, and they're all hanging out. And, but it turns out that Shang has a past that he isn't really too proud of, and a little nefarious past that ties into his father and his family and stuff. And then somehow he gets roped back into going to visit his father, and that's when you discover that his father is really like this super bad guy, and it goes from there. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty cool. The action was great. The effects were great. You know, it was a little over the top. I thought Aquafina's role in it was a little forced, but not bad. The guy Simu Liu, who they got to play Shang-Chi, did a great job in that. He could use a little help with the facial expressions, maybe not so much study with Kristen Stewart's, but do something else with it. But it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Here's the problem. A lot of people have been asking me about, like, the same question. Everyone's got the same question. Who the heck is Shang-Chi? And I'll tell you, man, nobody knows, because he's like a nobody character that was in Marvel Comics. It was Marvel Comics' answer to Bruce Lee, basically, and nobody really followed him. He'd been around for years, but, like, just wasn't a popular character. Right, Justin?
Right.
See, even Justin says so. He's a nobody character. And do I think this movie is doing really great at the box office, and that's awesome. But had this movie come out pre-COVID, or if COVID had never happened, and if Marvel had continued on the template that it was going on, and Black Widow had done well in the theaters, and then this movie came out, do I think it would have done well? Absolutely not, because nobody knows who this character is. Nobody had heard of this character before. Even Marvel goers, people that followed comics for years, just forgot about the character until the first trailer showed up. And I think the only reason this movie is successful is because we're so thirsty for movies right now, especially when it comes to the Marvel Universe. We want to see what's going on, how they're going to continue on the story, if there's going to be more Easter eggs that lead to other stuff, stuff like that. And so I think that's why this movie is doing so well. Not that it's a bad movie, it's just not a good movie, and it's not based off a character anybody cares about. Now, a little background into who the character actually is. Shang-Chi is... Well, okay, I'll put it this way. Shang-Chi has no powers. He's the one guy that all the Marvel Universe fighters would go to for lessons and to learn. He even taught Wolverine at one point. But... He had no 10 rings. There were no powers going around. There was no ancient universe. There was none of that. It's just this dude that can fight really well and is really attuned with his chi, much like Iron Fist. And that's where a lot of the team-ups would come from, or where you would actually see this character involved, is in the team-ups with, like, Iron Fist or Blade or anything like that. But his normal one-off his series and stuff, when they came out, you would find his comic books like wrapped up in those plastic wrapped bags of random comic books you get from the grocery store, where it's got like 3 maybe big name, Spider-Man, Avengers, Defenders, and then you get like Shang-Chi and Howard the Duck in there. The characters nobody really cared about, but they really need to get rid of the inventory, so they was stuffed into that bag. So that's where this character was, and so they really reached back to try and pull him out and tie him in together, because they wanted to do the whole Asian culture, Chinese character introduction into Marvel and the Avengers and whatnot. So that's where we get it from. Should we enjoy it and milk it for all it's worth? Absolutely. Do whatever you can to see this movie. It's a lot of fun. They need the money. We want to, we want more of this type of thing. But I think, like I said, otherwise, if we were in a normal world right now and other movies had been out, this movie would have been buried because nobody knows or cares about this character. It wasn't until this movie that makes you actually care about it. And even then, you're still kind of on the fence. So, Shang-Chi, go see it. It's doing really great. Let me know what you think if you have opposing ideas. The next film I saw was called The Card Counter. Now, The Card Counter is a film that was produced by, what's that guy's name? Martin Scorsese, I guess. I guess he's like a big name somewhere. But it was written and directed by Paul Schrader, and it stars Oscar Isaac and Tiffany Haddish, Ty Sheridan, who you may remember from Ready Player One, and Willem Dafoe. And Oscar Isaac is this character who just his entire life is wrapped around playing poker on the poker circuit, going to all the different casinos and whatnot and playing poker, winning a small amount of money and then moving on. He only wins a small amount of money because he doesn't want to gain any too much fame or notoriety and whatnot. He just wants to stay under the radar and live his life playing cards and just being alone. And in comes Ty Sheridan, who throws everything up into the mix, and things go weird and stuff from there. Now, the movie's good. It's got a good premise. It's got a good story. It's got great acting. However, it is boring as hell. There's too long in between significant parts of the story that causes it to be of any interest. And there are times I heard people snoring in the theater as I was watching it, which is sad because there's only one other person. So I must have been in my imagination. But still, it was that dull in between. And it takes forever to get to like a poignant point in the story that really interests you and makes you want to pay attention. However, when those points do come along, it's really hard-hitting and gritty, and you just really want to pay attention. And then you get mad because the point at the time is over, and you're stuck with this boring poker player again, and you're like, oh, do I have to sit back now? It's really sad in that aspect. If it kept up with the pace, or did something more to make it a little bit more inventive or a little bit more interesting in between the times, then I think this film would have been amazing. But because of it, it just falls short on that aspect. And that's unfortunate because the acting put in here by Oscar Isaac is phenomenal. Some of the best stuff I've ever seen him do. And if you get a chance, I believe it's going to be streaming fairly soon. So if you can, check it out. Let me know what you think on that one. The next one, this film, Small Engine Repair, who I know a lot of people haven't heard about it. They probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I came across it randomly on my What's Coming Out This Week list and saw that it had John Berthal and John Polano and Shea Wingham. And I was like, I saw the trailer. The trailer seemed interesting. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll check it out. The story is basically about a bunch of these three friends who grew up together and are in each other's lives, and they're basically their own family. And something happens that causes them to drift apart. Well, a few months after that, they come back together and become a family again. And that's all I can tell you without giving anything else away. This movie was phenomenal. I love this movie from the time it started to the time it ended. It was just hard-hitting and visceral and real. And it was just really damn good. And I was surprised that I was going to like it. I thought it was maybe one of those movies that was just past the time, but it wasn't. It makes you want to pay attention and focus on all the other little things. As you get to the end, you're realizing, oh man, why didn't I notice that before? And, oh man, this is happening. Oh, you really want to pay attention to the movie, and in that aspect, you just get to enjoy it. It's kind of like Sleepers. You don't want to admit that you liked it because, oh my God, that movie makes you feel dirty as hell when we're watching it. But afterwards, you're like, okay, that movie's pretty damn good. Small Engine Repair kind of falls along the same line. It comes off as a black comedy drama, but it's really just it's Deer Hunter. That's the kind of film I liken it to. So if you get a chance to watch it, then check it out. I think you'll totally enjoy it. And finally, coming up is the Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. Now, Justin and I reviewed this movie a few months ago, the Part 1, and we were really impressed by it. And Part 2 came out. We decided to wait till we can watch it together. And finally, we got together and got to watch it. And I have to say, Batman: Long Halloween Part 2 continues on with Part 1 in that the level and quality of work put into this is top notch. It's easily one of my favorites. The storytelling is just old school mystery storytelling. You do run into a bunch of Batman's vigilantes, but at no point is it like so over the top and so super comic booky that it loses its intensity in what's happening. And the ending reveal is still as powerful watching it as it was reading it. And the art style, everything. My favorite part had been when Batman was hit by the fear toxin, by Scarecrow's fear toxin, and the art style in that moment was amazing. If you haven't watched them yet, this is a good time. You pick up both of them, you watch them back to back, and it's a complete story, and it just, I don't know, it sustains you and fulfills you, and I really, really enjoyed this. One of the few animated movies that I've enjoyed in a long time. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's got Jensen Ackles, Naya Rivera, Josh Duhamel, Billy Burke, Titus Welliver, Troy Baker, Jack Quaid, Fred Tetrazone, and Alistair Duncan, and all as voice actors, and they're I can't gush enough about it. It's really great, really top notch, and really well done. So I recommend this movie. So, and with that, we're all wrapped up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Sorry for the long time in between, but I wanted to catch up on some movies before I came back to you. So here I am. So there. I want to thank Justin for being here. Say hi, Justin.
Hi.
He's so talkative this episode. And I want to thank, again, all of you for tuning in. If you get a chance, check out the movies. Let me know what you think. You have an opportunity to call in and leave a voice message for me that I'm able to play over the air and answer any of your questions, respond to any of your suggestions, or come back to any of your commentary. So please just let me know what you guys think and reach out. If that's not okay, then you can hit me up, forbiddenpanel@gmail.com. I'll answer all your emails and on the air, or at least respond to you. So with that, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.